Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode in this currently unnamed podcast series. This is called Podcast 2 or something. Last week we talked about all things Star Trek The Next Generation, absolutely brilliant first episode. Tetris and fast food and home improvements as well. I'm Connor Harper, this is my co-host Tyrese.
Just Tyrese.
Just Tyrese?
Just Tyrese.
Just like Adele and just like Pink and
I'm just
other artists.
Like, why can't I think of a single person who only goes by their like
Prince.
I was gonna say like Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson, who the hell is that?
Who I get my name from? He's the R&B singer.
Oh yeah.
He's in Fast and Furious. He's the worst character in those movies.
Yeah. Alright, so this week we watched Futurama episode 1, and we're going to talk all things about what we thought of it in a little bit. But we're going to start this week with a brand new segment. We're going to start with a question of the week. And this week's question of the week is, do you feel older or younger than you actually are? And I'm going to throw this question to Tyrese to start with.
I feel older than I actually am.
Why is that?
I just feel like, and maybe it's because like a lot of my friends who you don't know are younger than me.
Yeah.
So they're all out like partying, having a good life, and I'm like, I'm too old for this now. I'm past it. We're both in our very early 20s, just for reference. But yeah, I feel like I'm about to die, to be honest. I've not got long left.
Oh god. I actually feel younger than I am, mainly because I'm smaller and I look younger than I am.
We both get ID'd buying energy drinks.
What age do you think I am?
What age do I think you are just by looking at you?
That's not really.
I know how old you are. You look like 20.
That's not too bad. That's not the worst I've been told. You know, I've gained back 2 years. You know, people always say I'm about 4 years younger than I am. But I've gained back those 2 years, so that's good. Yeah. I'm glad.
So, can you grow a beard?
Can I grow a beard?
Can you grow a beard?
I probably could. I've never tried.
You should try and grow a beard.
I don't think I'd suit a beard.
I was messaging like a friend I haven't seen in a few months. I had a big beard and it really threw me off.
Yeah, a lot of people were like that. You know, as they get older, they're just like, you know what, I can't be bored shaving anymore. It takes 5 minutes out of my day to shave. You know, I can't be bored doing that anymore.
I know. I need to shave. I'm going on holiday tomorrow, but
you don't need to shave. You ain't got anything.
I've got like a little bit here. Everyone says that to me all the time, but I always feel like I need to shave. But like I notice it. No one else does. There's been times where people have like touched my face and been like, "Oh, you can grow a beard."
Yeah.
I just realised that cabinet looks like it is on the verge of breaking.
Oh my god.
It doesn't look good.
Shouldn't you take some stuff out of it?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
God.
So
that'll be death of Raoul the Owl.
Oh, not Raoul. Oh, we said we would put Raoul in the first episode and we didn't.
We did put Raoul. I think it is in the first podcast. I remember.
No, we mentioned Raoul.
Well, we mentioned him. Yeah.
I said we put him in like the video and we didn't.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe we've got a logo now. Special thanks to Belle for drawing that for us. It took her hours of work, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have like.
Thank you.
Next to the like in the bottom right of the screen, we'll have just a bunch of assortment of things like that we talk about in that episode.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So if you have so the question of the week is do you feel older or younger than you actually are? It's like the One Show. It's like what they do at the end of the One Show.
Why do you watch the One Show?
It's always on just before EastEnders, and that's why I always see the end of it, because they always ask a question. But yeah, guys, this week we're asking, do you feel older or younger than you actually are? So leave in the comments if you feel older or younger than you actually are, and the reason because of that. And we'd love to hear from you. It'd be great.
We watched Futurama, the first episode.
Yes.
I'm going to start this with a question that I already know the answer to. Did you prefer Futurama to Star Trek The Next Generation?
Big fat yes.
Big fat yes.
Yes.
Maybe we should rank each first episode, each pilot.
Yeah.
So, I love Futurama for context.
Love it too. I love the first episode.
You love the first episode. I've watched every episode of Futurama pretty much. I haven't watched the last season because it brings me sadness in my heart knowing that there's an end to Futurama.
Yeah.
But I love it. Maybe we'll watch more after this. I need to get to bed. But but so Connor, what did you think the story was of the first episode of Futurama?
Why are you asking me this? Why can't I ask you this question?
Because I've seen it before.
Alright, so there's this guy, Fry, the main character.
You've already got a character's name.
It's better than last week. So there's this guy called Fry. Yeah, he accidentally put himself in a time machine booth, and he got put to the year 3000. And yeah, so then he got trapped in there, and there's this girl that had to chase after him because he wouldn't get the chip, and then so there's all that chasing thing, all that stuff. And then they met the robot, which I absolutely love. My favourite character.
You did love the robot.
I did love the robot.
What was the robot called?
The robot was... Oh god, no, that's again. Is he called the Tin Man?
Yes, he was called the Tin Man. Well done, Connor. I didn't think you'd remember that.
Are you actually serious?
No, he's called Bender.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying nothing.
Okay, so what else happened? They met the robot.
Yeah, they met the robot, and what was... Oh yeah, they went on the ship. I can't remember the reason they went on the ship, though.
They're being chased by police.
Yeah, that was it. And they... Oh yeah, and he managed to be a delivery boy at the end.
Yeah.
So it started the exact same way that Fry's a delivery boy!
Yeah.
I know that. So, how much better was that as a description compared to Star Trek The Next
Well,
Generation?
I feel like you were following this one, so that's always a good sign.
I think my description of Star Trek The Next Generation was they were trying to get to a place.
I mean, they were also kind of trying to get to a place that in this show.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I preferred this to it as well. I love Futurama.
And I feel like it's a lot more likely I'll watch future episodes, pun not intended, of Futurama compared to Star Trek The Next Generation. But I feel like I'll just throw Star Trek Next Generation out the window.
But Connor, in the few days that it's been since we recorded the last one of these, you have watched every episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
No, I haven't.
You watched every single episode.
I watched every episode of Clarkson's Farm, but I didn't watch every episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Okay, so Connor, I know your favourite thing about the show was something that you'd love to have in real life. A suicide booth. I really enjoyed the suicide booth bit, just where all the different horrible things come out and try and kill him.
And Fry's scream.
Just right at the end, he just... That should be good anyway. But right at the end, the knife just comes out and twists.
Yeah, and it says,
it's great.
Thank you. What was it? You're dead or something.
You are dead.
And then she continued talking like she knew that they're still alive.
Nah, it's just a really great creative show.
Yeah, it is. And it came from the creator of The Simpsons as well.
Okay, some fun facts. The Futurama writing staff is famously really smart. They have like 18 PhDs between them.
Wow.
Like, a ton of the writers went to Harvard. For some reason, Futurama writers are just incredibly intelligent people. So, there's not too much of that on display in this episode, but one of the things is, obviously when they run into the Head Museum, Bender says it's free on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. December 31st, 2999 is a Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah, it will be a Tuesday.
Oh.
So that's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's a very easy thing to check, but I feel like a lot of shows wouldn't.
Yeah.
Another thing about this show is, obviously it's by the creators of The Simpsons, which you didn't notice, even though it looks exactly like The Simpsons.
No, I said Matt Groening or whatever his name was.
But, so all the characters have an M and a G somewhere in their design. The ear is a G, and usually their hair has an M worked into it.
Oh.
Yeah, like Homer Simpson, the sides of his hairs are M's, and then the G. And every Simpsons and Futurama character has that in some way.
Wow.
But my point is, they just really wanted another show from Matt Groening. They didn't care what it was. And they basically went to him, they were like, alright, Matt, make whatever you want. And so, you've done a pitch meeting before.
Yeah.
A pitch is meant to last like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
when they pitched Futurama, they went for hours.
Really?
Yeah, Matt Groening and the other creator just sat there and spoke about it for hours, and at the end of it, Fox were just like, yeah, sure. They were like, yeah, you can make this, why not? I've seen Matt Groening's new show, Disenchanted.
No.
I quite like it. It's very controversial, a lot of people don't.
Oh.
We'll watch it one week, but I really enjoy it. I feel like we're done with Futurama trivia.
Yeah. All right.
So what happened in the future of this show, in the Futurama of this show?
I think they'll just like run through like from like 2100. What is it? 3000. They'll just keep running through the years after that.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
It's not really. It runs in sort of real time. So I think I'm gonna double check this so I don't look like an idiot, but I'm pretty sure it came out in the year 2000. I think it started. It started in 99 and then went on to 2000. So I think it runs.
Well, Family Guy started the same year. I think
it
was a big year for animation.
It essentially runs concurrently to whatever year it is. So like in the last seasons where it's they're bringing it back. I forgot they're doing another season of Futurama.
They are.
Yeah, they're bringing it back pretty soon.
You can watch the last season.
I'm not sure about this new Futurama. They're not. Apparently, maybe they've changed their mind, but originally they were not bringing back some of the actors.
Oh.
Yeah, which
that's a big risk.
Yeah, for animation it is quite risky.
Yeah. That's how Scooby-Doo died.
They replaced the guy who plays Shaggy in the live action movie. He started voicing him in the cartoons as well after the voice of Shaggy died.
Mm-hmm.
And they replaced him for that new Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
Remember that one with the hot police officer? And then she takes her mask off and she goes, "It's me, Dick."
Scooby-Doo 2?
No, it's called Scoob.
Oh, no, I didn't watch that.
It's got Zac Efron or something, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
why do we always link High School Musical in this?
I don't know, you know? But, Connor, as always, obviously after the tremendous success of our first episode of the podcast,
yeah,
incredible success, we have it in front of us right now, it has 31 views currently.
Amazing.
Which, you know what, is about 25 more than I thought it would get.
20 hours on as well. I reckon by the time we get to next week, that'll be up to 100.
It very well might. I'll keep sending it to my friends. Have you sent it to anyone?
Yeah, a couple.
So my gran listened to the podcast.
Oh my god.
I sent it to my old gran.
Be careful what you're saying, because she might actually watch episode 2.
No, she definitely will. She really enjoyed it. Spoilers. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about some of my gran's notes on the podcast.
Oh god.
So, obviously, her first comment was, "Who are you recording this with?" Which, the podcast opens with me introducing you. Yeah. And I call you by name at least 5 times throughout that podcast. And then she went on to be like, "I didn't know you were a big fan of Star Trek." And I was like...
What, to you or me?
To me. And I was like... I'm not, Gran. We listened to the first episode. We watched the first episode, and we clearly knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then what else did she say? She asked us how often we're gonna do it, which we still haven't really agreed on.
Yeah, probably weekly.
Yeah, probably weekly. Maybe we'll throw some out randomly.
Yeah.
So it'll depend on our schedule.
Maybe we'll do like a bloody Easter special or something.
Oh, an Easter! So we'll talk about Jesus. Jesus came out the rabbit hole or something. I don't know what Easter was about. What else? She didn't like that I said bad words. And I don't think I said that many, but my
during Tetris, you said it was shit about 50 times.
I did. I was very passionate about Tetris.
Yeah.
But what did she say anything else? She just really enjoyed it genuinely, which surprised me. And then I was like, "So what do you think we should call it?" Because obviously at the end you were like, "We call it the Cat Podcast." I said Gum Bumpin'. What else did we say?
Cat Podcast, Connor and Tyrese Podcast. Yeah.
No, we're not calling it the Cat Podcast. But there's Never Again as well.
Never Again?
Yeah, we were like, well, we could call it Never Again because we're never going to talk about any of these shows ever again except Star Trek. But Yeah, so my gran was like, I'll think about it. I'll think about the title and I'll tell you. Have I told you this? So my gran phones me like a half hour later.
What?
And yeah, and she's like, I've thought of a great name. I'm like, what's that, gran? She's like, don't laugh. I'm like, I won't. So my gran's idea for what we could call the podcast was, quote, a conversation between Tyrese and blank, whoever I had on. So I don't think my gran, if you're watching this, hi gran, but I don't think she grasped that you are this. It's our podcast. It's not.
Was she think she was talking to yourself or something?
I think she thought that like it was just my podcast and I just brought you on for the first episode.
Ah,
but
so you're gonna like get different guests like Jonathan Ross every week?
Yeah, but no, it's us two, and then maybe we'll have a revolving door of extra hosts, perhaps.
It's like me and your what? Me and your podcast with special guests every now and again.
Yeah, but we'll get my gran on.
Really?
No, we're not putting my gran on this podcast. Maybe if my gran wants to come on, I'll let her come on. But we should get Beetroot on.
Oh my god, no!
That was my experience with my gran.
Any other comments from any other viewers?
My stepmom enjoyed it. She also didn't appreciate the swearing. And what else did she say? She thought you seemed funny. So, you know how we talked about obviously doing drink of the week?
Yes.
Well, we're not today.
We're not
because we have the same drink as previously. But
drumstick juice.
So I got my hair cut, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, I like it.
It's all gone. I had quite long hair for the first episode. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about my barber experience.
Okay.
So I went to a local barber. I think I might have told you which one it was. I'm not going to name it, obviously.
No.
But I went in, and it was a man with great hair. And immediately, if your barber has good hair, it's worrying. Because you're like, who's cutting this guy's hair?
Yeah.
Why can't he do mine? But we'll get into that. So I sit there for like 5 minutes. It was only him. And he cut the guy's... Pardon me, sorry. He cut the guy's hair up, and then the guy looked good, and he was like, "Thank you." He left, and then I sat down. He had a big like cushion on top for me, and because that other guy before me was really short, and he didn't want to embarrass the other guy by taking it off for me. So I looked around, and it had 4 plug extensions plugged into each other.
What?
I was like, that is a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think he did a good job, and I got the whole 9 yards. I got the razor on the back of the neck. He had like a weird spinning blade thing that he just ran around the sides of my head. He had a little metal rod that he lit on fire and then hit me with it.
Okay.
Have you ever had any of this done before?
No, I've just had clippers and scissors, that's it.
No, he had a little stick with fire. I think it was to like sear the hairs on your ear, maybe? I think that's what it for. He just like hit me with it.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I'm not messing with you. I swear down, this is true. He had like a little metal stick with like some wool wrapped around it. He dipped it in like a purple liquid and lit it on fire and then hit my ears with it.
What?
Yeah, he looked really confused.
I'm like... Are you joking?
No, I'm being serious with you right now. This is true.
I'm gonna let such a tit if you're
I promise you, I'm not fucking with you. Did anything else happen? Oh, so this guy, he constantly like blew my hair and like would move it and make sure it's all alright. He was a really good barber, to be fair. I'd go back, but
how much did all this cost?
It was £13.
It's okay.
It's not too bad. For a city centre barber.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got my money's worth. All my hair's gone now. But what he did, he looked in the mirror. He like snipped a bit off of his own hair. So he like sorted his own hair midway through cutting mine. Yeah, it was incredible.
Did it like fall into your hair?
No, he just like he had like a big like buffon. I don't know what you'd call it, but
mullet.
No, he like up. It was big, swishy Twilight hair. But he just trimmed a little bit off the top while he was cutting my hair. Is it anything
similar to our college lectures?
So, Connor.
Yeah.
You were at the cinema.
Oh, yeah. I was at the cinema on Tuesday.
What did you go and see?
I went to watch this bizarre film called Knock at the Cabin.
That's got Batista in it, right?
Who?
The wrestler, Batista, the big guy.
Oh yeah, that was the guy who played
Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, his name in the thing, Roland or something?
Oh, his name in the film. Yeah, he's a big fucking guy. He's massive.
Yeah, he is.
He's definitely on steroids.
Yeah, defo.
But I really like him. I think he's really good.
Mm-hmm. But the film was just bizarre. The ending was even weirder. You know,
spoilers for Knock at the Cabin.
We're not.
What happens?
Spoilers?
Yeah, just
tell
me.
So there's going to be a section of spoilers.
Yeah, we're just spoiled. No one's seen this movie.
Alright, so these 3 or 4 people who turn up to a cabin with these 2 gay guys with a daughter who orphaned. Alright, so there was these 2 gay men. And they came to a cabin. 3 or 4 people came to the cabin. 4 people, yeah. Also, Ron Weasley's in it as well.
Oh, yes, isn't he? I seen him on the poster,
It's
yeah.
so bloody weird.
It's a shame. He's a good actor. It's a shame everyone in Harry Potter, they're just the characters they played in Harry Potter forever.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so they came to 3 or 4 people came to the cabin, and they said if they don't kill one of the people, you know, the 2 gay men and the daughter, they kill one of them, then the world will end. Mm-hmm. Which is just weird. Like, you would think, you know, like they're just being cultists, you know, they're kind of like
they've just
conspiracy
shown up to
theorists.
mess with them.
Yeah, exactly. But no, what actually happened was every time that they didn't, like, they said that they wouldn't kill someone, or like a certain amount of time has passed, they would kill one of themselves. You know, the people who turned up, the cultists or whatever, or well, so-called what we thought was cultists. And they would put a plastic bag on their head and strangle themselves.
Oh.
And then they would like put a knife in them as well. And they would take them outside. And that's it. And then something would happen in the world, like a virus, or like they would put on the TV and there'd be like something on the news, like a virus or like a tsunami or something. And you just thought, why is this, like, what has this got to do with, like, it's just a bizarre storyline. And then this just kept going and got on and on for the next hour or something. Then we got to the end, and
so
the world...
sounds like a movie that's not very interesting. It's just the same shit over and over.
It was interesting, but it's just the execution was... The idea was good.
Yeah.
The execution just... It just didn't make sense.
This is an M. Night Shyamalan movie. M. Night Shyamalan, he's made a couple good films, and then he made a very long series of shit films.
Yeah. And
then he made Split. Have you seen Split with James McAvoy?
No.
Very good film, and then everything he's made since that was also shit. Would you say this movie was shit, or is this a good one?
I gave it a 5 out of 10. So it's somewhere in the middle. Like, it had the ability to be a really good film.
Yeah.
But it just didn't execute it correctly. And the things that happened was just weird. You're like, why? Like, it would have made sense if they're cultists, but no. And then the house burnt down at the end. For some reason.
Do they kill a family member?
Yeah, they did at the end. So they killed somebody in the family, and then the world didn't end.
Good stuff. Did they kill the little
and then
girl,
did
one of the guys die?
One of the guys died.
Okay. It would have been morbid if they just killed the daughter. They're like,
yeah, I'm like, Jesus, I hate you now. Let's
make a new one.
Let's just be even more weird.
And then real quick, what would you rate Knock at the Cabin?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. We didn't rate Futurama. What would you rate Futurama episode 1?
A weak 8, I'd say a strong 8.
Strong 8.
8.5. 8.5. Strictly 10.
I would give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10 is terrific.
I think if I watched more of it, I'd definitely be up there in the 9s and the 10s, and, you know.
I think for a pilot, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's just a great show.
Yeah.
And it carries on being great as we go. So you see Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, so Knock at the Buddy.
Average movie according to you.
A little bit below average. Because a lot of the films I've watched at the cinema have actually been really good.
So we've got our main topic for the week. Now, this is loosely a game podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't really talk about games last week.
Yeah.
And we probably won't next week. But this week's main topic is overhated games. What's a game that a lot of people hate that you like?
Oh, that's a good question.
I did send him this a few hours ago.
Yeah,
He's had
I really
time
should
to
have
think,
thought about
and
this.
he didn't.
Yeah. An overhated game. I'd say... I don't know. What about you? I need to think.
An overhated game. I think the times have come around on this. You know what? Actually, I've got a better one. This is very controversial.
Overrated.
The Order 1886. Do you remember this game?
No.
It was a PS4 exclusive. It was, at the time, I would argue, the best looking game ever made. From, like, realism.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It was met with horrific reviews. It's like a linear cover shooter. It's a 360 game that was on the PS4.
Yeah.
Like 10 years after the trend died. But I thought it was quite enjoyable. I thought the story was quite enjoyable. I thought the world was interesting. It was in like a steampunk 1886, and it ends on a cliffhanger that will never get resolved because no one likes that game. But no, I think I quite enjoyed it. I think some of the especially towards the end, the shootouts are really enjoyable when you get some cool guns.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla's in it, and everyone likes a bit of Nikola Tesla.
Electric.
Not Elon Musk. I wonder if, like, 100 years from now, they're going to put, like, Elon Musk in things.
I don't know.
Hopefully not. What a weird guy. Have you got one then, Connor?
I don't actually.
No, Connor is a bit of a fan of simulator games.
I
Is
am.
there any, like, hated game amongst the simulator?
Gas station sim.
Gas station sim. I'm gonna Google this.
I
while you
absolutely
talk about it.
love this game. It's so good. You get to serve customers. You get to do car washes. You get to be in the garage. You get to take deliveries. It's just like a gas station sim. You get to upgrade it over time. And now the reviews on Steam are neutral. What's it called? Like when it's in the middle?
Like average
or neutral or whatever. And I think it should be mostly positive, or at least very positive, or even outstandingly positive.
It's got a Metacritic of 72%, so like a 7 out of 10.
Okay, I
That's
think
not
it should
too
be an 8
bad.
out of 10 personally.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that 7 out of 10. But yeah, I think I feel like some people like gave it, didn't really give it a chance. Like, it's not really a game that you'd be like, oh, I'm so addicted to gas station sim, I can't wait to play this tomorrow, all that stuff. But, to relax, it's one of those games that you can just sit down and relax, to kind of like Euro Truck Sim.
I feel like I should play a simulator game at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're a big simulator fan.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought your YouTube channel was called for a long time, but it's the simulation fan.
It used to be called that.
This topic should be the one we turn into a video.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But no, I've never played a simulation game. And I never will. Except when I do.
What one would you think you would play?
I don't. I feel maybe Euro Truck, because that's like
my God,
that's your favorite, and I feel like I'd need to.
I've not played that in a while.
Hit it
Actually,
up.
I brought it back on the channel for like 3 episodes in last year, but
Give me 1 second. Maybe we should have done overrated. That would have been a lot easier.
Overhated. Maybe
Nah,
leave overrated
we'll just,
to next week.
Yeah, we'll do overrated another week.
Is there any other topics?
Overhated. I have a few more. Okay. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. We're going to do an episode of Kingdom Hearts at some point, but that means that you're going to have to play Kingdom Hearts.
Or at least watch it.
At least watch some of it, yeah. Maybe just the cutscenes and I'll explain the gameplay.
Or just watch
We'll get Andy on and do a Kingdom Hearts episode.
God.
And me and him will have a screaming match.
That's going to be the
Because
best guess.
He's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I don't think Kingdom Hearts is very good. However, Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories, real title,
Wow.
it's a remake of a Game Boy game, and I actually think it's quite good.
I remember the Game Boy. It was like my first console I ever had.
I think it was a Game Boy Advance game, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But
that might be that.
Controversially, because most people don't like this game, I thought it was really good. They bring... The issue is, if you play Kingdom Hearts in order, it is a game about reliving the memories of the first game. However, it came out immediately after the first game as well. So if you're playing them in order, you have to play a very similar game right after.
Oh.
But I think the combat's more enjoyable in Chain of Memories than the original. It has like a weird card-based system, and I actually think it's really good. It's controversial. Most of the fans don't like it. But I think if you play the first game and this, the first one is a lot more dated. I think the card gameplay, for as weird as it is, it's kind of timeless. And I don't think they'll ever do it because obviously it's quite a hated game in the community. It's probably the most hated one, but I think it's quite an enjoyable gameplay. And if they brought it back, I wouldn't mind. They're doing another Kingdom Hearts, and they'll never stop making them. But I wouldn't mind if they brought back that sort of gameplay.
Yeah, you should play Microsoft Flight Sim.
Flight Sim, I could do Flight Sim. That would actually be good.
Yeah, I'd even join you.
Oh, can you play that one co-op?
Yeah.
Okay, Connor, your next overhated game.
Next overhated game. Oh, God. See, I want to say Train Simulator.
Is that hated?
But I feel like I hate the game as well because the DLCs are like £30 a go.
I feel like
to drive Edinburgh to Glasgow is £30, where I can get a ticket in real life for like £7.
I feel like for the most part, every simulator game could go unhated because I feel like it's a niche community. Everyone else hates it.
Yeah, but like Euro Truck Simulator 2 has like one of the best ratings on Steam.
You know what? Overhated. I could talk about this one for a while. Dark Souls 2.
Oh, that's controversial.
Dark Souls 2.
I'm thinking of 3. Sorry, 2.
2 is the hated one.
Yeah.
People think 2 is a massive step down from 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which it is, they're right. But I think 2's better than 3. And I'll go into a bit of why. So, 2 is boring. I agree with that. You can't argue, it is a bit boring. All the bosses, they don't have much creativity. Most of the bosses are just a big guy in armor. And I would say the one area Dark Souls 3 excels at is some very interesting bosses. But what 2 has that 3 definitely doesn't is its own identity.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls 3 just feels like it's the same shit from the first 4 games. So the 2 Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne. And I feel like Dark Souls 2, at the very least, has some original ideas. Has a big fire castle, has a big dragon area, has a big fortress made of poison. It's got some weird design decisions. The burning the big wheel. There's a big metal fan that you need to burn to stop poison for some reason. It doesn't really make any sense, and free doesn't really have that. Free just has doors, but basically what I'm saying is Dark Souls 3 is going in the overrated games episode, but I think 2 is better than 3. I think it's more enjoyable. I like the life gems mechanic. I think it also lets a bit more accessibility for players who aren't very good. Like you don't need to use them. You should always have like five or 6 on you just in case. But if you're like not very good, you can have 100 and just tank them. And I know some elitist gamer boys will be like, that's not the Dark Souls experience. Like, shut up. And also, Elden Ring's come out since. There's no Elden Ring DLC yet. Hopefully there will be eventually. But Elden Ring is also just a greatest hits of the previous games.
Yeah.
But it's better. It's a better greatest hits than all the previous games. Elden Ring's incredible. You haven't played Elden Ring yet, have you?
No.
I don't think you'd like it.
Really?
It was really difficult.
I remember when that came out, everybody was playing
Oh
it.
my god.
Like,
when that...
Like, so many people were off uni.
It was like Breath of the Wild. Like, everyone was talking to everyone about it.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
I didn't see my flatmate for 4 days when that came out.
I remember I went into uni that day, and every single person was like, alright, let's get this shit done quick. We all want to go home and play Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It was terrific, and I had a lot of flatmates on holiday at the time, so I just got the place to myself, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what's an overhated game, Connor?
Yeah.
Like, one that I think this is a terrific game, and it gets a lot of flack, And I don't necessarily understand why. I understand why, but I don't agree. Resident Evil 6.
Oh, yeah.
Have you played Resident Evil 6?
That's the only one I've not played.
It's the only one you've not played.
Yeah. Seen. Sorry, seen. Seen or played.
I think Resident Evil 6 is not a scary game at all. It's not a horror game. It's not trying to be a horror game, though, and I feel like that's what a lot of people forget.
It's just trying to be a story game.
Well, not even. It's trying to be like some silly action game, and I think it achieves that really well.
What's the one? 2018, was that one? Or was
20? No, it was way. It would have been 2014. I would say.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7.
The series went on a bit of a mainline hiatus after.
Because I think I did a video on Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil
6.
I'll look up what year this game came out. Yeah, it came out in 2012.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, the series went on hiatus for a while after Resident Evil 6. And I understand why, because the fans didn't like it. I'm a fan and I liked it, but most didn't. But I genuinely think it's terrific. I think 5 has a lot of faults as well.
Yeah.
4 is obviously perfect.
Yeah, 4 is great, and that's coming out in 24th of March?
Yeah, the remake's coming out soon as well.
Yeah.
But I think will the remake be good? Probably. I'm gonna throw it out there. It's probably gonna be good.
What about Resident Evil Village that released 2 years ago?
I haven't played Village.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the VR version.
I absolutely love Village, especially the dollhouse and the little bit of the scene before it oh my god.
But back to 6. So 5, obviously they have the co-op, and they have if you're not playing co-op, you have the AI girl, who's a nightmare and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like she just acts completely unlike a human being would.
That's a lot like games though.
Yeah, but it's just she uses all your resources and shit. It's annoying.
I'll tell you something that really annoys me in games in a minute.
But in 6, the AI is vastly improved because apparently, and you can tell this just by watching the trailers, they added the co-op quite late into 5. It wasn't built to have it. The game was originally just going to be about Chris Redfield in Africa fighting racist depictions of zombies. But we're not going to go into that now. But 6 is also less racist than 5. But every single campaign in 6.
That's because 2012. Like people became a bit more sensitive around then.
Also, just horrible racist. You go to an Africa, people dancing with sticks. It's horrific.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 isn't scary at all either. But I think 6 goes full in, this isn't a horror thing anymore. Yeah. This is just action. And I think it's better for it. Mm-hmm. But my point, it's got so much fucking content. It's 30 hours long.
What's your favourite of all of them?
4.
I like 2.
The remake or the original?
Oh, I like the remake.
Yeah, the remake's great. The original is also really good. Yeah. Obviously, it's an old-ass game now, but yeah. It's got so... And I really like Jake Sully. A character who will never
better
be
than
Resident
Leon
Evil.
Skennedy.
Skennedy?
Yeah.
Leon Skennedy. Leon Skennedy's in it as well. He has the second best campaign. I was thinking about it there. Chris Redfield is the worst one. But I think Jake's probably my favourite. But I think he's just a really cool character. He's the son of Wesker, the main villain for the series. That's a twist. And his co-op partner is the little girl from 2, all grown up. So it's
oh yeah.
So it's the son and daughter of the 2 villains, and do they fall in love? Maybe
I think
I
I've
won't
read
spoil
about
it. But it's just genuinely a great game, and I think it's way past overhated.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No.
Well, a good thing. We're gonna stick on Capcom for a bit. DMC Devil May Cry.
Never seen it or played it.
Do you know what Devil May Cry is?
I've heard it, but never seen it.
I love Devil May Cry as a franchise, and I hated this game when I first played it too. But I have warmed to it because it was an attempted reboot of the series. It was not a good one. They changed Dante, obviously. He had the famous white long hair, and then they gave him a wee buzz cut, which looked terrible. But the new voice was annoying. He was really unlikable. The story's terrible. You can't defend that. But I think it plays pretty well in retrospect. And the thing is, now that it's a failed reboot, because after 4, obviously they tried to reboot the series, but they've done 5 since. So I think you can look at that weird shit game. It's not a shit game. I don't know why I'm saying it's a shit. That not as good
Supposed
as.
to be talking about overhated games here.
Yeah,
The overrated.
That game that a lot of people don't like, including me at the time. I think looking back on it now, it's got a lot of great ideas, and even like 5, when 5 came out, it took some things from it. It took some gameplay. It took a few ideas from it, and I think it's better for it.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't bring. There's a must style mode, so DMC you get rated on your combos, and the highest one's S. Well, it's 3 S's, but it goes S, 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 3 S's. You love
the SS.
Yeah, you love obviously the second highest one. You try and stay on that, but you have to be in like an S ranking to damage enemies, and I think that's quite a cool mode.
Yeah.
When compared to like, and they didn't bring that back for 5. They should have, but I really want them to do that ladies' night that they were going to make, but then seemingly haven't. They were going to do like a spin-off of 5 that was about the female leads of the series, and like they go on their own little adventure.
Was this for like National Women's Day or something?
No, this was just a game they were going to make. I think it would have been great. And like those 2 characters are playable in the special edition of 4, but they pretty much just took a few things from other characters and put them together to make them. They're not their own unique characters. So I feel like they could go on and be like, oh, this is how Trish would play, this is how Lady would play. I think that would be pretty good. I'm off topic though. That's an episode we should do. Like game spin-offs we'd like to see.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I want a truck simulator with a different type of truck.
Like Jill.
So, the final one. You might have played this game. Came out when we were kids. Sonic Unleashed.
Oh yeah, I played that.
Sonic Unleashed. Sonic turns into a werewolf.
Yeah.
Werehog.
Yep.
Let's real quick talk about Werehog and why that name's not good. Do you know why? No?
No.
No, you don't. So, the reason it's called a werewolf is it comes from the Old English word were, meaning man, so it's man-wolf.
Okay.
Did you not know that?
No.
So werehog means man-hog.
Okay.
So it should be hog,
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, so that doesn't sound as good, obviously.
Mm.
But, yeah, it's pretty good. So do you like Sonic Unleashed?
I liked it, yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
The werehog gameplay is...
It's nostalgic to me, definitely.
Yeah. I played it recently. Well, not that recently. A year or so ago. And the werehog gameplay is pretty shit. Doesn't play very well. It's like a bad God of War spin-off. And it runs at like 4 frames per second most of the time. Which you don't notice as a child, obviously.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm like, this is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But the Sonic levels in that game are great.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first game to do like the boost gameplay, which is just sort of like Temple Run, really.
Yeah.
You just hold the button and he goes really fast, and then you go left and right. But I think the Sonic levels are the best version of that gameplay they ever did. It's better than the one in Colors, it's better than the one in Generations. But all around, half a good game, half a bit of a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. It's been ages since I played that. Can't even remember. I did play it.
Yeah. So Connor, what is the last one you've got? Have you got any ideas?
No Man's Sky.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I just came up with that.
Yeah. We spent about 25 minutes Googling.
Yeah, I understand the whole launch of it, you know. It's an example of a game that, like, through its launch, had such a terrible launch that, like, it brought itself back from later on, you know, like, it managed to pick itself up, sort its life out, and, you know...
Oh, it was a nightmare.
I
remember I got that game when it came out. I got it for free through... I got like a weird Amazon thing where I got it for free.
Yeah. I was between that and I remember the PC launch of Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know if you do.
No, was that bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, the game would crash every time you go into a city. Like, and it would be like an hourly crash.
Dear
me. And because you can't save in the middle of missions, they would lose mission progress. So you'd have to restart the mission again. Which was terrible.
But
yeah, back on No Man's Sky, that launch wasn't great. But I do think it got overhated too much. I do think the people who made No Man's Sky should have, pushed it back 4 or 5 months just to make sure.
I would say 4 or 5 years.
Probably. At least anyway.
The last time I played it was after, like, the update where they added the co-op.
Oh, yeah.
And it still wasn't great then, but that was years ago
I feel like, Satisfactory, that game?
I'm aware of it, I've never played it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a better version of No Man's Sky. But it does things differently. Like, the launch was so much better, the multiplayer is so much better.
These games are not similar at all.
I know, I just realised.
Space exploration and running a factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do quick spitfire of some games I think are overhated. Fortnite. Do you like Fortnite?
Bloody hate it.
Nah,
I played beta. It was terrible.
Fortnite's a bit of fun.
I'll play it again in 2 weeks.
Why in 2 weeks? So I think the last one we could talk about is Metal Gear Solid 5.
You can talk that. I have no
Ground
idea.
Zeroes. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, also known as the prologue of Metal Gear Solid 5 that they just released as its own full-priced game.
The only thing I've played with Metal Gear Solid is jumping on top of a train and to another side of a thing. That's the only thing I've ever played with Metal Gear Solid.
Is that Rising?
I don't know. I think it might be one of the earlier ones.
But no. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Oh no, I'm getting mixed up with Half-Life.
Those aren't even similar, dearie me. But Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, it was a weird one. It's an hour long for a full price game.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you bought that on Steam, you can just refund it?
Steam refunds wouldn't have been a thing at the time when that game came. It would have been 2014, I'm guessing. But yes, if
theoretically,
Steam, they couldn't do that now because people would just refund it.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think it's quite good. And like, obviously, it's just Metal Gear Solid 5. And Metal Gear Solid 5, the full game. We'll call it the full game in Ground Zeroes. The full game is a big open world. It's got 2 massive open world maps with little bases dotted around them. And I think that's fun for about the first 5 hours. And then it's just annoying that you have to ride on a horse for 10 minutes between each base. As opposed to Ground Zeroes, where it's just in a big map, big open level. Let's say a mile of terrain. Okay. But everything's designed. Everything feels like it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And you can you can do a lot of different missions in that. That's the replay bit. It's like 8 hours long if you do all the extra missions. But obviously, the only story bit is the error.
Oh yeah.
But I would say
sound great. From that description, it just sounds like just puts me off the game.
But the fact is that now it's like £2. Like it's cheap as fuck to buy. But I think it's really enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. The gameplay's great. I think it's a little bit less refined than the full game, obviously, but I think it's still enjoyable. It's just like a demo, but it's a separate game as well. I think now if you buy Metal Gear Solid 5, you get the 2 in one box. The 2 different games. One of them's an hour long and one of them's 100 hours long. Obviously,
wow,
sold for the same price.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I think the final game of Metal Gear Solid 5 should have been a bit more like that. I think it should have just been like 10 big levels instead of 2 massive levels. I think that would have been better. But if you have any games that you like that everyone else hates, put them in the comments.
Yeah, and also the other question as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel older or younger than you actually are?
This episode will go on its own channel immediately. So we're gonna have an email in that you can send an email if you're a random person listening to this. We're gonna try and get these on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
See if we can do that. I'm not sure how.
It will be on my channel probably as well.
Yeah, it'll be on your channel as well. We're gonna have a clip video of some part of this.
We're gonna have it everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have it everywhere that'll let us put it there, and even some places that it won't.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, we're gonna be SoundCloud rappers.
So finally, are we done with the overhated game section?
Yes, definitely.
Alright, so finally what we're going to end with is what is your plans for this week?
Well, I think as I mentioned at the start, I'm going to London, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to just do all the tourist stuff again. I went to London 6 months ago for the first ever time, which being British and never been to London is quite weird, but yeah, I went for the first time. We had a Gordon Ramsay burger, so I'm definitely going to go back there. Next episode will probably be the travel episode, and then we'll talk about something to do with games or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll watch, like, An Idiot Abroad or something.
Oh my god.
I really like that show, that's a lot of fun. And what's your plans for the week?
Mine's going to sound shit compared to yours. But yeah, I've got a lot of uni work to do. I'm going to have to start reset this week.
Oh yeah, you got to reset that, yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
Raoul will be in the thumbnail for this episode. Well, not the thumbnail, just the logo. Dotted below us.
You can deal with the logo.
No, you're doing that. I'm editing the audio.
True.
But have we got any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts?
Yeah.
No, just that next week we will be back. Probably this time next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
With the next episode of this.
We'll upload. We'll try and get these out every Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have like a full week and a bit to.
This one may be out a bit earlier.
To get the next one. Maybe we can do a few in a week sometimes. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
We could always record like 2 at a time.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot.
Smaller amount.
Yeah, we could do shorter episodes.
Yeah.
We could always cut out like segments of ones that go long and put them in other episodes.
Yeah.
But then we need to have good audio because like the audio quality for this will be pretty mid.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Then we will catch you again this time next week. Probably.
This is your phone. This isn't my one.
This time next week, and au revoir.
Au revoir. Okay, everyone, farewell. Farewell to all of my friends that I've forced to listen to this so we get views. I'm just going to say it if you're listening to the end. Answer our 2 questions. What's a game you like that everyone else hates? And do you feel old or young?
Then you actually are.
Yeah. And the final thought of this episode is a really important one. That Donald is an old man.
Au revoir.